Hello, this video is going to go over discussion 2 Q&A. I had a list of questions I wanted you to address just so I can try to understand who you are as a class. I also think it's good for you to read through the responses from everybody so you can better understand that maybe you're in the same boat as everyone else. Maybe you've gone through both discussion boards 1 and 2 and you say, hey, well, there's people that I'll get along with. I wish this were a face-to-face class where we'd get to see each other and talk and make friends, because that's an important part of the college education. But I still think we can do that a little bit online. So I've pulled out and highlighted your concerns, questions about the course, and questions for me because I wanted to address these. I firmly believe that every question deserves an answer, even if it's a stupid question, right? So we'll go through all these things and I'll help you out. So main concerns are going to fall behind, and that's kind of a natural fear. I had that fear myself that I'll be mid-semester, be like, do I have a class that I've forgotten about? I have that fear. And so we all think that way. Just try to be organized. I've tried to make the schedule as easy to follow as possible. I'm switching over to week 1. Every time there's going to be the to-do list, right? It's going to have the due dates as you get into week 2, which is where you will actually find this video. Everything is here, says when things are due. In addition, we have the course schedule, and if you were to get out of Blackboard, you can go into, I think it's your activity stream. No, it's your, somewhere in here, you can manage your calendar. If you go over calendar, you can look at this by the month. It should have a variety of due dates that will appear. There's also one of these features that allows you to set up your alerts. That'll probably be in your settings. Oh, here we are. Global notifications. So stream settings, notifications, push notifications. If you click on these, it will come up and say, okay, well, I want to know when a new event's up there, when I have a grade. So click any of these that you actually want. We're not going to have really journal activities or wiki activities, but anytime these things come up, and you can decide how often you want to get these notifications. So make sure you use the tools at your disposal. Can't keep up. Hopefully I haven't bogged you down with too much stuff. I don't think it's a hard class. It's going to seem difficult and sometimes because there's new concepts, but I do want you to ask questions. That's a very important thing. So hopefully that answers these. Will this be difficult? Again, I don't think it's difficult, but he's got to let me know about any concern or question. If I'm not clear, let me know. I'll make a new lesson. I'm sitting here live answering your questions. I have office hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday and Thursday at different times. If you can't make those times, let me know. We'll schedule something up. Okay. Concern that this is, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Computer problems. I addressed that in the syllabus, but go ahead and contact me when you have problems. Things go out of our control. I will say, and I think I say this down here, that you save everything on the cloud. That way you can have access to it. That's an important thing. It's an online class. That's a problem. You feel like you're alone. You feel like you're just throwing stuff out there. That's the way I feel sometimes. I can make this video and I don't think anybody watches it. Nobody really pays attention. No one reads the syllabus, all that stuff. It's the way it goes. And the only way you can do it is just keep trying, keep feeling out for a response. And then concerns about organization, missing due dates. Contact me when you miss a due date. I do have the panic button right up here. It talks about this, so I hope I've covered all these things already and you just missed them or forgotten about them. Really, missing a couple assignments is not a big deal. You can miss like 5 discussion board assignments and that's only 50 points out of 1,500 point class. So that's not saying don't do them because I think they're useful and beneficial, but it's not something that should take very long. It's not something that you should really stress about. When it comes to questions about this course, can we work ahead? I really don't want you to work ahead. Don't try to get this class done in 2 weeks. That's not good. And I have it set up so you can't, because there are things that we have to do. I'm glad you want to try to do it, but this isn't, math where you can get all the homework done at once. The process of being a better writer and a better reader comes with time and practice, just like learning a new instrument or learning how to cook or learning how to do anything well, right? I mean, you don't just go out and say, I'm going to run a marathon on the first day of practice. You have to build up to it, right? So you've had a lot of practices in high school writing shorter papers, writing papers that might be similar to some of the things we're doing. But it's like a mile run here, a mile run there. It's not building you up for a 5K, 10K, or even a marathon, right? It takes a long time. And, even this class won't prepare you for a marathon of writing analogy, right? It's still just, a training class. We're still getting better. Is there going to be group work? I don't have much group work planned. I can assign group work. That's fine with me. But sometimes I'll ask you to discuss topics or respond to other people's discussion boards. I am never going to require you all to get together at the same time for a Zoom or at the zoo or whatever you're going to do, right? That's just not fair. You can't work that out. Some of you work, some of you are in high school, some of you work and are in high school, some of you have family, some of you are working like 3 jobs, you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I recognize you're busy. I'm not going to stress that. Are there a lot of long assignments? The syllabus explains the assignments pretty well, I think. Oh, wait a minute, I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. But that's later on. Anyway, so is Comp 2 required? That's the next class. Yes, Comp 2 is required if you are getting your associate's degree in science or arts, or you're planning on transfer to a 4-year school. It's required for any bachelor's degree. If you're getting a certificate, let's say you want a applied business degree, that does not require Comp 2. It does require business communication. Engineering, you want to get PTA, nursing, does not require Comp 2. Eventually, you'll need to take Comp 2 for nursing because they're now requiring a bachelor's degree for nursing. How much time would this class take? How much do we plan? The rule of thumb has always been 3 hours of outside work for every hour inside class, meaning you have a 3-hour class, which is what this is. You should expect 9 hours of work a week. That's kind of been scaled back to about 2 now. I think you can often get by with 1. I don't think this is a difficult class. It really just depends on how fast you read and write. Start off by planning 20 to 30 minute sections of time. And this is good for all your classes, especially if you're trying to study from home. 30-minute intervals, 20-minute intervals, give yourself breaks in between. Say, okay, for these 20 minutes, I am focused on composition. Not everything else that's going on around you. No Facebook, no Gmail, no Instagram or Tinder or whatever you're on, right? None of that stuff. You're just focused on that work for 20 minutes. Take a break and then see how far you've gotten. You got to figure out how fast you read. If you know it takes you a minute to read a page and you got 40 pages worth of reading, you know how much time that should take given, no distractions. I say 20, 30 minutes and you should be fine every day. Let's see. Long assignments. I said the assignment descriptions are in the syllabus. Please read it. I don't just write a bunch of junk in there. I do have what I consider a detailed syllabus that outlines everything you should expect in this course, what you need to know to do well, and I describe the assignments because I think you want to know. And so I put all that up there out front so you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to be in this class, how much time you should plan. We start off with 3 short assignments of about 500 words. Then we move on to 3 longer papers that are about 1,000, 1,500 words long. So we get some practice writing better and faster. Is there more reading or writing? What's the ratio? Generally, there is more writing than reading. I only have about 10 article assignments for you to read. There are some other writing assignments that are heavily based on reading, especially the research paper. And then we're doing an online class. You have to read everything to get your information. So you're going to feel like there's more reading in an online class. Are there any Zoom meetings? I do not have any scheduled Zoom meetings in Composition 1. That is not fair for you to sign up for an online class and then, surprise, you have to be available at this time. That's just not fair at all. There are 2 sections of this class combined into one, sections 805 and 806. You'll see that it says 805 CoRec. That's what actually this is. That's because there is an English 094 developmental writing class that is paired with this. And so those students that are in the 094 will be meeting at a specific time. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've already had 2 meetings. Let's see. How can I do well? I say try your best. Just turn everything in. Give it an attempt. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best writer. I'm not expecting that from you. Lots of people don't improve on writing until well after they've taken this class because it's just that process of repetition and learning. But I expect you to be challenged to think deeper about things and to become a better writer through practice. And then what are we going to learn? That's a funny question. It's almost as good as, did we do anything important today when a student misses a class? What are we going to learn? I mean, I do talk about that in the syllabus, so go ahead and read that again or look at my video. I did make a video where I go over the syllabus if you don't want to read it. But you're going to learn to be a better writer, better reader, better thinker, and I think a better student. Finally, questions for me. Oh, I didn't get prepared for this. Do I have a favorite pair of socks? It's summer. I'm going to disappear real quick. Luckily, I'm in my bedroom. I can get some socks. All right. This is weird. It's summer. I'm not prepared for socks, but I have lots of different socks. I'd say these are probably my favorite right now. But, polka dots and weird argyle patterns, things like that. I enjoy socks, I don't really do anything wild, but, people can get a little peek of them and say, hey, that's different. I have a pair that a student gave to me that was really nice. I wore those out, so I don't have them anymore. Anyways, socks are fun. You gotta enjoy what clothes you're wearing, right? Why did you decide to become an English teacher? Why not? I enjoy language. I can't speak, right? I enjoy language, enjoy reading, I enjoy expressing ideas, I like helping people. So all that kind of goes together. I feel I can see like the big picture and also how those little components work together to create the big picture. So I think that helps out a lot. How many times have I been pulled over? Twice for speeding. I wasn't going very fast the second time I got pulled over. That was state trooper on 36. But I'm 40 years old. That's good. First time I got pulled over, I was 17, and then I was in my early 30s, I think. And I'm joking. They never found the drugs in the bodies, right? No, I don't have either. Let's see. What planet would I buy? Serious answer, I'd be like, oh, I like the lonely isolation of Pluto. It's too far away, has a wonky orbit and all that stuff, but that's not a planet, so I'm just going to go with Uranus, right? Why not? I got kids, they think that's funny. I think it's funny, Uranus. Not whoever's asked me that question, but just in general. Hopefully you were expecting the answer too. Where do I see myself in 10 years? Here, here, actually, I want to stay in this house, but I really like this house. It's nice, old 1910 Victorian. But I still hope to be at Edison State. I like Edison State. I like the mission. I like its dedication to teaching and to students. Those are two things you don't always see at four-year schools. I'm working on a PhD, so I hope to have that then. Maybe I wouldn't mind going to a regional campus. I don't even think I want to be at a large four-year university because it's not necessarily student focused as much. It's more like you're in your own little departments and things like that. But my youngest will be 16 and I'll be 52, so I still better be employed because I'll have college coming up. How did I become interested in teaching this subject? Let's see. I always wanted to be a literature teacher. I liked literature. I liked creative writing. And so both my bachelor's and master's are in literature. And I thought I wanted to teach literature. I imagined myself at this big four-year school being whatever, teaching all these senior level literature classes and being really smart and everyone's like, oh, he's the best. And I realized I probably wasn't the smartest or the best, but I also started teaching as a teaching assistant at Wright State and really enjoyed that. I didn't see much of a future being a literature professor because those are few and far between. How many English majors are there? But I enjoyed working with first-year students a lot, and I still enjoy it. It's my favorite thing. I really enjoy teaching composition. Right or left Twix. I can't ever figure out which side's left or right because you flip it and then it changes, right? I know it's labeled right and left, but by the time I've opened it, I've figured it out, and by the time I've eaten it, I've not even thought about it. But Twix are the best candy bar. Um, I don't even know what right or left is supposed to say about you. I'm not going to read this question out loud because I have children in the house, uh, and they're right next door. But I think I was in fourth or fifth grade. Obviously, they don't know yet. Well, the oldest does, and I think the middle one suspects, but the youngest does not. But he's probably already figured it out because he's smart. Favorite day of the week? Thursday. Week's almost over, right? That's when the weekend begins. Why did I decide to make my beer and soap? I like making things. I like figuring out how things work. My brother made beer a long time ago. I was like, this is good, and I was of age, but this is good, and I thought it sounded interesting. I was like, I didn't know you can actually make it yourself, and so I tried it out, and my wife got me all these cool gifts, and so now I'm kind of doing it. I don't do it as much as I probably should, which is a weird question, but as much as I would like, but I still enjoy it. My daughter liked making all these microwave soap thingies and said, let's get her a reel kit. And so we got a reel kit and I helped her with it, and I liked it. I like being able to choose my own soaps, not having to buy something store bought sometimes. If you ever watch Parks and Recreation, Ron Swanson says, people who buy things are idiots, that sort of thing. And I think it's cool. I like to get into making my own wine. One of my friends and colleagues who lives just down the road, but she also teaches up at Edison State, she's like, I make my own deodorant. And another friend from church, she's like, I make my own chapstick. And so no, vice versa. Friend from church makes her own deodorant. Friend from work makes her own chapstick. So those are cool things. I mean, why buy when you can make and you know what's in it? A total lame choice for favorite car has been my Honda Civic. I just saw a car last night that looked exactly like it. I was like, oh, I missed that car. It's a little four-door. It's not even cool. I'm not cool. So if you're hoping for like Lamborghini or whatever, you're not going to get that. But it's the first car I bought for myself. Car I brought all the babies home in, that sort of thing. Really enjoyed it. Sad to see it gone, but someone else got it. They maybe wrecked it. I don't know. Job before becoming a college professor. If you're an English teacher, you generally work a lot of jobs. I was planning on being an English teacher, and I went to Miami and moved. Substitute taught for a semester after I got my bachelor's degree because I graduated early. I was still living down there and I hated it. So I just moved to Boston with a friend and had no plans, had no job, didn't even see the place we were renting, and ended up just temping for a while and fell into a job working for Pearson Education, which is the world's largest textbook publisher. Moved up in that and really enjoyed it. I met a girl and moved to New York City because that's where she was moving to. And I was like, I'll come along with you. And it's a really dumb idea because she dumped me a month later, and found a job on Craigslist of all places, back when Craigslist was still a little sketch, but on the up and up, working for a famous photographer, which is really bizarre thing. I mean, really, really famous photographer. Met a lot of celebrities and all sorts of stuff, but I said, I'm not happy. I moved back to Ohio, started waiting tables and applying to graduate school. So that's my life in a very quick nutshell. Where are we? Favorite kind of cheese? I like the soft cheese, French cheeses, brie and camembert, but right now I'm just thinking about Gruyere because I'm making pizza tonight. One of the pizzas I make has caramelized onions, Gruyere, and thyme, and that's all on a nice, thick, soft crust. It's the best. It's not even traditional pizza. What restaurant would I go to for the rest of my life? And the question, of course, is do I have to pay for these meals? My wife and I like Coldwater Cafe and Wheat Penny. Those are great restaurants, but I have to probably say Wheat Penny. I have friends that run both of them. One's the owner of Coldwater, and then the other one manages Wheat Penny. I would say they're friends. They're friends from high school. But I think Wheat Penny has a little more variety, and of course pizza. I'm thinking pizza because I gotta get making my pizza. Why are smoothies called smoothies when they are anything but? That's a great question. Who knows why anything's called anything? We can get into that discussion some other time. But maybe you just need a better blender or a bigger straw. When's your birthday? March 27th. 40 years old, so you can math that out yourself. What do I think will happen when I die? There'll be tons of mourners. Lots of people will be crying. Maybe it'll be tears of joy. I don't know. But I'm not really sure what happens next after I die. And I don't want to be like I'm concerned. It's not like what was it? Um, Pascal's wager, right? Where you better live your life as if there is a heaven than not live your life and be proven wrong or something like that. There, you can look it up. Pascal's wager. Um, I don't really know what happens. Maybe there is nothing. I want to believe in God and an afterlife. Of course, there's all these different religions that are out there and all different sorts of versions. And, how can only one be true? And maybe all can be true or none of them are true. I don't know. So I do know that I don't think God and heaven are anything like our religious texts describe them to be, because I think it's all too complex. If there is such a thing out there, it's too much for our little brains to comprehend. So all we have are these metaphors of what heaven and God and all these things are really like, to try to somehow approximate what is really there. And it would have to be greater than what we're actually told it is. But I don't really know. So we'll just have to see, right? That's a good thing. We all die. We're all going to figure it out someday. That's very morbid. Let's see. When did I decide to teach online? I've been teaching online since my kids are born. I don't always teach online. It's just a nice option to have, especially right now. We all teach online because of COVID. But when my babies were born, I decided I would be home. My wife needed to go back to work. She worked a steady job. I was only part-time anyway. So I was like, I'll take some online classes, be with the kids. And that did not work out well at all because I never got any work done. But it was a good option to have, and I love my flexibility. Let's see. What about hummus? That's a great question. I like hummus. I think it's got too fancy for what it actually is. It's just chickpeas and tahini. People are adding all sorts of crazy, stupid stuff to it. Just enjoy it as it is. Anyway, so that takes us through all those questions, and I appreciate. Oh, I got a bunch of junk up here. Anyway, so I appreciate you sticking it out. I'll get it bigger so you can see me. Sticking out all my answers. Hopefully, you understand a little more about me, a little more about the course. Maybe you just skipped through it, or maybe you just read the stupid text. That's why I put it there. Anyway, have a great day, and please keep those questions coming.